In other news, each week, Local 33 will highlight a veteran or current service member right here in our local community.
That's right. Our own Tim Sproles joins us live in the studio to tell us all about this week's hometown hero. Good morning to you, Tim.
Good morning, Deidre and Chad. Now, we've told a lot of stories about a lot of hometown heroes, men and women who have served in theater, on battlefields, on many different wars. Today, we honor one veteran who served in 3 separate wars. You heard that correct, 3 separate wars. He is retired Colonel Ralph Stephenson, and he is your hometown hero. Speaking with Ralph Stephenson, you find out pretty quick that he has never been a fan of keeping his feet on the ground.
I always wanted to fly.
Ralph figured the best way to accomplish his dream was to enter the Army Air Corps. So he joined the ROTC program while he was a student at LSU. The day he graduated, he married his wife. Then shortly after, he was commissioned as a 2nd Lieutenant Bombardier in 1945.
I always said the best job you can ever have is one that would pay you to do something that you would pay to do yourself. And that was always flying as far to me.
Ralph served on a B-29 aircrew until the end of World War II. In 1950, Ralph joined the newly created Air Force and planned on making a career out of the military. But just shortly after joining the Air Force, Ralph answered the nation's call once again. For the 2nd time in less than a decade, Ralph was going to war. This time, it was in Korea. In the cockpit of a B-29 aircraft, he flew 45 combat missions over North Korea. Ralph had a lot of close calls, but he finished his tour in Korea without a scratch.
You think about some of the things that were a lot of fun at the time, and then you look back on it and you says, boy, that was scary as hell.
Things seemed to be slowing down in 1965, when he was assigned to head back to LSU to serve on the Air Force ROTC detachment. He served there for 3 years, but then the nation came calling again, this time in Vietnam. He flew classified missions from 1968 to 69, and he was awarded multiple medals for his service in wartime, the Distinguished Flying Cross and the Meritorious Service Medal, just to name a couple.
A lot of them were because I lived long enough to get it.
Ralph eventually retired from the Air Force as a lieutenant colonel. He went to a lot of different places and saw a lot of different things, some of which he can't talk about, like being stationed at Roswell. But he doesn't have any complaints. He just kept doing what he loved, and he did it the very best he could.
I enjoyed what I was doing. I always thought, well, I'm a happy warrior, you know?
His name is Ralph Stephenson, and he is your hometown hero. If there's a local service member or veteran that you would like to see as your hometown hero, send me an email at tsproles@brproud.com and be sure to put hometown hero in the subject line. Tell us their story and we'll tell it to the community. For those who have served and those who are currently serving, thank you for your service and go forth and do great things. Live in the studio, Tim Sproles, Local 33 News.